It kind of brought me back to Channel 13 WMAZ. That's the news station in my hometown of Macon, Georgia. You know, you grew up watching the same news station in a small town. You know the news anchors pretty well, and you grow up watching them get older. And one day I'm looking at Channel 13 WMAZ, and I see this horrific story on there. I see a family crying as they talk to the news reporter on scene, and their elderly grandmother was S8 in a nursing home. And I felt very bad for that family. And I just wanted them to have some sort of justice for what happened to their grandmother that was taken advantage of in a nursing home. And then they said they caught the suspect, one of the nurses that worked there that was supposed to take care of her. And as his face came on the screen, the shock in my eyes when it was my best friend, who I grew up with. Not only did I grow up with him, like our families were close. His mom knows my mom. His mom loves me. My mom loves him. We were that close as friends. And I just started thinking, like, what signs did I miss to be with him every day? Like, we was wild. We was getting chicks. He had no problem with the ladies or nothing. Not only that, but he was one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. And then on my Facebook page, everybody is coming to me and they're saying, John, you got to speak out about it. You got to say something. You're going to be involved if you don't say nothing about it. Everybody pushing me to say something. So I made my Facebook post saying, I don't care how long we've been together. He's a horrific monster. Then he gets let out of prison. I'm sorry, he gets let out of jail. He gets let out of jail because they reviewed the footage. All he did was walk in her room and give her food and walk back out. He wasn't in her room no more than 5 seconds. No one assaulted her at all. She wasn't trying to be a victim. The family discovered that their grandmother has dementia, undiagnosed. Talk about a sigh. My friend was married, and his wife was so upset at my Facebook post. How dare I come out and make that statement vilifying him? There was no details that came out on this. And I tried to go back in my mind. What made me jump the gun to a guy who never showed me he do anything like that to vilify him without any evidence? And from that day forward, I said I'll never make that mistake again. His wife still doesn't speak to me, but we're cool. We're very cool because, like I said, he was a nice guy. But sometimes we'll talk, he's having fun, and I'll just look at him when he's not looking at me. And I feel so horrible because I still haven't forgiven myself for what I did. I've talked about essay cases before on here. And one thing I can say with certainty on any of my Facebook pages is when I talk about these subjects, I don't give my opinion until I have all of the details. I've heard what the guy said, I've heard what the victim said or alleged victim said. And then I take both their stories and I look at the evidence in between before I even make any form of an opinion. And this Jay-Z situation is crazy because if you do not come out here and say that Jay-Z 100% did this to a then 13-year-old girl, 37-year-old woman, we'll get into that later, then you are kissing up to a celebrity. There's no gray area. There's no in between. There's no innocence until proven guilty. There is no, I want to wait for more evidence. If you don't come out here and vilify Jay-Z, you're an old head who looks at Jay-Z like a god. Well, let's remove Jay-Z's name. Let's just say, man, be the man walking down the street. It could be you who I'm looking at watching this video. Oh, 37-year-old woman comes out and says that 24 years ago, at the ripe age of 13, she wanted to get into a hot celebrity party. They wouldn't let her in. So she starts talking to different limo drivers until she finds a limo driver that let the 13-year-old girl in. During this time, of all these people that's there, no single witness has come forward. Nothing at all has happened. But she says she made her way to Diddy's room, where Diddy is in a room with Jay-Z and some celebrity unknown woman. And while she's in this room, not only did they essay her, but Jay-Z started it. The only way she was able to escape this situation, she was able to hit Diddy. Guess Jay-Z just let her hit him, run away, cross the street, call her father. Interesting that it didn't say, tell my father these horrific details. It just says, call my father. And we hear nothing of this again. There's zero evidence that this took place. There are no witnesses at all. As a matter of fact, the only thing we can look into details about this is on the night of this party that was held in New Jersey by Diddy, Jay-Z is video and a picture is taken of him going into his own separate party in New York. Some may note that New York is only 30 minutes from New Jersey, but I wonder how long that 30 minutes is on a weekend. Full New York traffic. Jay-Z is not even in the state that this happened. That's the only thing that we have to go on this. And the fact that the lawyer that came out with the 37-year-old woman, because it wasn't a 13-year-old little girl who made this decision to take him to court. This is a 37-year-old woman. Because all of you guys keep making videos saying this 13-year-old. A 37-year-old woman decided to do this and bring this forward and go to court over this. What kind of world do we live in when you want to vilify people because someone said a story, and that's all it is? It's a story until we get more evidence. It would be best to leave people alone and let them wait for this evidence to show itself. Because if you force someone to speak out, they're not villains to not want to throw a man's entire career away with no more evidence. I don't know how you guys do things, but I don't ever want to regret a decision. I will never regret waiting for more evidence, be it Jay-Z, Snoop Dogg, or Snoopy. I will never regret it. If more evidence come out, I'll do you one better. If Jay-Z comes out and gives a statement crying and said that he did this, I would feel okay with this video because the right thing to do is to wait for more evidence. And if he comes out and he says that, or evidence comes out to show that he did it, I will fry him the same as I've done everyone else after I gather the evidence. I will fry him. I don't have any allegiance to Jay-Z. I don't know him. I have allegiance to my principles that I always wait for more details. I've gone through this multiple times. All the way back on my true crime channel while I watched somebody vilify a man whose wife was missing with a little baby. And everybody said that this man did it because when he gave an interview, he didn't look like he was sad enough. Only to find out why the entire world vilified this man. And I came out making my video saying I'm going to wait for evidence. A close friend murdered her because she wanted her baby. No one will stop me from doing what I believe in. Because if we flip that around, how would you guys feel if you vilify someone and you find out that the girl was actually lying? How would you feel? You know what saddens me? I don't think most of you guys would care. You know what else saddens me? Every community goes out here and take up for each other. We have been so thirsty for our own entertainment as we hold up our phones to look inside of it and see the next salacious story. We don't care where it comes from. We are totally down with vilifying people of our own race and culture prior to any evidence. And that's the key word, prior to any evidence. Know what else scared me? Something has to happen when the SA word gets thrown out, other than you made this up. And that's what it is. If I need something to happen that looks different than if someone just were to make up a lie. Right now, nothing has happened to show this could just be a lie. What could come up? Evidence. When there's evidence involved, with something to corroborate the story, there's nothing at all. When there is zero at all, there is no difference between this allegation and someone making up a story. And we shouldn't be vilifying people for this, because while you guys are out here thinking about celebrities, I'm thinking about everyday people. You get into it with somebody, I'm going to make something up. I don't need evidence, proof, or whatever. Just for me to come out with this, I'm going to destroy your entire life. I don't want to live in that kind of a world. I don't want that on my worst enemy. I have seen things and videos that people are saying. One video in particular, I'm going to go into when I go live. I'm going to play the actual video where this woman is an SA victims counselor, and she was SA'd at 7 years old. She made a video stating not only did Jay-Z do this, but she called Jay-Z a murderer. Not an alleged murderer, not an attempted murderer. He is 100% a murderer. People are taking in things that happen to them, and they're using these things to base their opinion to vilify others. And it's scary to me. There's something else that's going on. Ageism. People like DJ Academics is so stuck in ageism. He is vilifying Jay-Z, saying that that's y'all king. He was never my king. He's never my. He wants to put this out. King or no king, however somebody feel. Whatever happened to just evidence, just evidence. But he's so lost in the sauce, he forgot that he's going to court for his own civil trial on SA. And he's worse because the alleged victim in his case gave a complete statement in video. And then he gave a complete statement in video. We have both versions to make an opinion on. But he's so stuck in ageism. With his younger generation, they're just saying things that's not true. A lot of people in the early 20s are saying that Jay-Z and Diddy are friends. That's insane to me. You want to know who Jay-Z friends are? Tata, Memphis Bleak, the people that he hung around. You know what Jay-Z has a history of? Falling out with close friends. So even if Diddy was one of his close friends, it wouldn't have mattered. Jay-Z shows I will leave anybody if a situation is not right. He has cut off multiple people that were his friends. But they're thinking that they're friends because these are both successful guys in the music industry who are going to be seen together. But Diddy has his own group of friends, and Jay-Z has his own group of friends. These are just people in the music industry. You guys use this friend words way too loosely. And then I'm hearing crazy stuff like all these allegations against Diddy came out and Jay-Z didn't say nothing. I wouldn't say anything either. Why would I want my name attached to that? I would want to stay away from that far as possible. You know why? Because they are not friends. They're not friends. It's just all these preconceptions and everybody caught up in everything that is just removing the fact that a story was told about something that allegedly happened 24 years ago, and there has been nothing else to corroborate it. What's to stop me from saying a story right now about you? I pick a random day, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. What if I go on your social media and I see where you posted where you was one night, and I match the night that you were in this vicinity to a night that nothing shows on my social media where I was, so I can say I was there. And then I make up a story about you. No evidence, no anything. I just make some shit up. That's the world you want to live in, to just say that you're right about a situation? I'm going to leave y'all with this. Once a SA claim has been stated, someone is 100% a monster. Either the person that they allegedly did it is a monster for taking advantage of someone else, or The person that put out the claim is a victim, or they are the monster for making up a complete lie. There is no in between. Once the claim is made of SA, you are looking at a monster. You just have to choose which one. I don't know how to choose that from someone making a claim. I need more details and more evidence. And once I figure out who that monster is, you come to this channel, trust I will fry them.